All right. Hello, everybody. I am still MadMega. Thank you for having me back. This is Mega Man 6. We'll get started. Thanks to Pot and Terex for the awesome Mega Man 5 run. It was a lot of fun. All right, we're going to get started with Mega Man 6 here real quick in 3, 2, 1. All right, so Mega Man 6 is the last game of the original 6 Mega Man games released on the NES. It's the last NES Mega Man game, and in fact, is one of the last games released on the NES at all. It was so late into the NES's lifespan, in fact, that Capcom did not even publish this. Due to Nintendo's rules, you were only allowed to publish like 5 games a year. And so Capcom was going to not publish this in the United States. They were not going to do it. And so this is actually published in the US by Nintendo of America. They didn't want the American audience to miss out on the Blue Bombers' 6th endeavor. And I'm grateful for that, because this game is awesome. So let's see. We still have the Mega Buster. It's back, and it's not as overpowered as the Mega Man 5 version, unfortunately, but it's still pretty good. An advantage here is that it charges slightly faster when we're sliding, versus Mega Man 5, where it doesn't charge when you're sliding at all, which, oof, big oof. That's a killer. But so far, we're making our way through Windman's stage. Windman is one of 8 Robot Masters. They are part of a tournament to find the most powerful robot in combat. And they've all been taken over by a new bad guy. Finally, we're done with this Dr. Wily character. Just had enough of him. I'm glad we're moving on. New bad guys. Got Mr. X this time. Seems like he's been pulling the strings all along. So that's Windman. We try to just charge and do as much damage as we can while we charge. And he gives us the Windstorm weapon. So these nice little tornadoes. So now we go to Flame Man. One of the things I like about this game is that there's it feels logical the way that some of the enemies, some of the powers are weaknesses to certain enemies. At least I like it. But so here we're in Flame Man stage, and you can see there's a lot of oil around. These little fire-dropping cans will absolutely set that oil on fire, so we try to avoid that as much as we can. Because then they become spikes, basically, once the oil is on fire, and it does not go away when you die. Oh. Hey, now. So we're gonna try to make sure we don't let any of those guys have a chance to catch any of that on fire. Makes it much more treacherous. Okay. A lot of basic movement so far. I should talk about, it was mentioned during the Mega Man 5 run, slide canceling. You'll notice that I kind of do this thing where I turn around a lot. That is because that is the method of slide canceling that I still use when I play this game. You could do it 2 ways, and that one's unfortunate. So you can do it 2 ways. You can hit A, where Mega Man will stop sliding, and then you can hit A again and he'll jump, or you can pull back from the direction you were moving, in which case he will also stop sliding. So I tend to opt for... Alright. I generally opt for the pull to the opposite direction that I'm sliding. Just more comfortable. But it kind of goes down to personal preference. Double tap is faster, but I only do that in certain locations. What happened when I fell into the pit is that when the oil changes from oil to flame, it actually, it will basically drop inputs when that happens. So you can hit A and it just doesn't matter. So, and that is unfortunately what happened there, but that's okay. Flame Man is taken care of. So one of the things that's also kind of nice about Mega Man 6 is that all of the enemies take 4 damage to their weakness, so they only take 7 hits every time. That's true of almost every single boss in the game, in fact. There are only a handful in the castle stages that do not fall under like that. That was a poor bit of play on my part. So I charged, but it was a full charge, and you can't fire a full charge when you have a shot on screen. And there was still a bullet on screen that had ricocheted off of one of the enemies. So that's what happened there. Weird little things in Mega Man 6 make it such a cool game. We're gonna try to have clean movement here. We're gonna try not. No, I'm not gonna go for it. I don't think I would have made it. It was very tight. That was not especially close. Timing got thrown off a little bit by that drop, which is, happens, unfortunately. Squid throwing ice. Okay. So, I jumped too early, I could tell. I'm so, oof. That was very, very scary. Alright, so we have Blizzard Man. He's weak to the flame, which, again, makes logical sense. Big fan. We don't want him to roll, and so, of course, he does. But what we try to do is we try to position ourselves so that we're as close up against the wall as possible, so he does not have very far to roll. We can't really control how often he rolls, but we can control how far he rolls, and the shorter roll he does, the better it is for us. So now we get the Blizzard attack, which, as I was saying earlier, these the weapons kind of make sense. So Blizzard Man, well, Plant Man, yeah, that makes sense. Blizzards kill plants, cool. I dig it. Let's go. Makes logical sense. I love it. So now for some of the worst enemies in Classic Mega, these little grasshoppers. I loathe them. The fire of 1,000 suns. Just hate them so much. Getting caught on some walls here, unfortunately. We switch over to Flame Blast because really, the key to this game is flame, and a big reason why is that it does 3 damage, which is the same as a fully charged Mega Buster, and you can mash this. Now, admittedly, my mash is not very good, so your mileage may vary on how much damage per second that gives you, but it's still a dramatic increase over any other version. So now, I'm gonna take a second here. As soon as I wasn't far enough forward, I knew I was gonna die. Did not get the trigger correctly. It's okay. That's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Oof, okay. I was gonna go for it, but we're already down to no lives, so I guess we're not gonna do that. You know, that's always the one trick that I want to get to is platforms. So those platforms, you can open them up with a regular Buster Shot, and I will be doing that here in a moment. But you don't have to. They will, you can stand on them briefly for a few frames. And, you know, now, I mean, I'm so out of practice to do anything but oh my goodness, I'm just all over the place here. Oh boy. This is a backup I, unprepared for, have to say. That's okay. We're through. We're alive. Whew. Just the worst. And, you know, I think that's the first time I've missed that in an event, honest to God. That's so frustrating. Alright, so this is Plant Man. We're gonna try. Didn't get the one I wanted. Good heavens. Okay, at least it's over with. The most important thing is that Plant Man has you know, faced winter and has wilted. And so now we get the plant shield. What I was able to trigger was the if when Plant Man jumps, he lands directly on top of your hitbox, it confuses him and doesn't know where to go, so he'll do a cycle around the room. He'll do a lap, and that lets you do a lot more damage to him quickly. So, A-okay. Now for this might actually be my favorite stage in this game. I love this song, and I think that the backgrounds are some of the best in Classic Mega, full stop. And I also love these little dudes with the little pistols. Their name is Colton, and that is adorable to me. There's a Met dispenser. It's like a Pez dispenser, but way less fun. Just short hopping the ladders now, are we? Ooh. You know what? Thanks, Eddie. I think this is the best background in Classic Mega. I love it. The shimmering sun in the background, I think it's just so cool looking. Like this game did some pretty cool stuff with the graphics of its time, in my opinion. So, like I said, this is just such a cool stage. So, as I said, we use a lot of flame. We try to make our way through here without having too much in the way of, you know, we mostly just use it to wipe out anything in our path because it just does a ton of damage. Now we'll see our first use of Plant Barrier. It's not an especially useful weapon. We don't really use it anywhere but here against Tomahawk Man. And again, it is his weakness, so it will do 4 damage. However, each use of the plant shield will also use 4 energy, so we have exact ammo. This is true for 2 of our bosses that we'll see, where you have exact ammo. So one of the most important things during the refights especially is to respect the iframes. Yeah. Plant Barrier would be incredibly helpful if the usage was 2 and not 4. Like, it would be usable in tons of locations. Right, so now we make our way to Yamato Man. This is where the logic of the stuff breaks down. Like, I'm not quite sure how Tomahawk beats a spear or anything as such, so Here it just is a guessing game. So, we haven't really talked about Rush, have we? Rush the Robo-Dog isn't really in this game. What we have are Rush adapters. And we picked up both of those already, and we haven't used them yet, but we're gonna see one here. And they give us some special abilities, basically. Instead of having a jump assist, we have a jetpack that recharges and refills. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty cool thing. I don't want to say it's better than a a coil, but I mean, it's a jetpack. It's pretty cool. So this is the Silver Tomahawk. This is what we got from defeating Tomahawk Man. You'll note that the Silver Tomahawk is so called because it is bronze. It's another one of my favorite things. So this is Yamato Man. We know that he will do the same thing twice. No more than twice. So when he did the 2 spear shots at me, I knew that the next time he was going to jump. And if he jumps twice in a row, I know that the next time he'll shoot the spear at me. That's just how the AI is programmed for him, so it's good to know. You can sort of predict his movements a little bit better then. So we get the Yamato Spear, which is well, it's a weapon. It has some annoying properties that make it a bit troublesome going into some boss fights later, but we'll get to that. First, we have to go deal with Nightman. He's the enemy of the Dayman. But here I'm gonna just deboost through this fellow. And deboost through that guy too, why not? Switch over to Jet here, and we're just gonna fly around a little bit because we have some heavy vertical areas here that can be quite alleviated with the application of some jetpack. And instead of having to go all the way over and around, we can just kind of go straight on up through. So now we switch over, we got our Yamato Spear. Now, it might be a little hard to tell here, but one will shoot and kind of angle upwards, and the next one will sort of angle downwards, and then upwards and downwards. It alternates. So you can find yourself in a position where you're trying to shoot at something from across the screen, and you miss because it's angled in the opposite direction of what you were expecting, or what you wanted, or even just center line. So, something to keep in mind. There's a secret exit. We took a secret exit in Yamato Man stage when we used our jet. We're not going to do it here. It's slower. It's faster to just go fight Nightman here. This is the ending % route, so we don't need to stop there and do that. Now, what makes the spear so great, the Yamato Spear so great against Nightman, is that he has that shield, right? He's got the shield. If you hit him with any other weapon, his shield will block it, but not the Yamato Spear. So we don't have to worry about trying to hit him when he gets, when he's jumping, because when he's jumping you can hit him, and you can hit him from behind or from underneath, but you can't hit him dead on with the shield, so makes life a lot easier with the Yamato Spear for sure. And here's our final boss of 8 Robos. This is Centaur Man, which I guess is a half man, half centaur, or half centaur, half... Look, I'm confused. I don't know. Little miracle jump there. For some reason, the way that water works in this game, it will sometimes make you do a full jump. I do not know why that is. But it does, and luckily it didn't get us this time. okay. Now, most people have switched to Nightball by now. I don't know, I prefer to use Buster through all of this. For some reason, I'm still using old routing, I guess, from the before times. But here we go. Nice little bit of deboosting on through. Don't have to deal with any of these bad guys. Skate right on past Eddie. Yo, thank you for dropping the E-Tank, but I can't. I don't have time. Not today, buddy. So now we switch to the night. Get our mace ball out. And we missed. But that's okay. We have plenty of ammo because we switched so late. That's why we do it that way. And why I do it that way. Oh, didn't get our little backwards deboost. There's a secret exit right here. You can make it if you have the jet, and we do. But we have to switch to jet, and the menus in this are pretty slow, so we're trying to avoid that. So now we get in here to Centaur Man. So, weak to the center, or weak to the mace ball. Oh, we got a pretty good pattern here. Might, teleport. So what you don't want Centaur Man to do is teleport, but you really, for the most part, you just try to do damage with the mace ball, and 7 shots later, that's the end. 21-14 with a couple of deaths, and one of them being plant forms. Okay, not the end of the world. But now we have Centaur Flash. And now we finally get Mr. X. See? New bad guy. Finally. No more of this Dr. Wily. I thought we were done with him with Dr. Cossack. No. Now we're back in it with a real bad guy. The whole mastermind. I'm quite excited. Switch over to Jet. Mr. X is the guy that started the whole tournament of super-powered robots, and then he took them over and is trying to use them to take over the world. So now, and he said that he's been manipulating Wily from the beginning. I totally buy it. Makes sense. Couldn't have been Wily this whole time. So here's some more of the worst enemies. These grasshoppers. One day, I will get through there. Mega Man 6 reference. Just get those 4 1-ups just for making that tough little jump there into the window. We use our POW suit. That's the first time we see the POW suit. Do some charge up heavy damage at close range. Oh, cool. Missed a handful there. Normally that boss should go a lot faster. They don't have iframes, so you can generally just burn right through them with the flame. Now to Mr. X2. Where we will do a fair amount of mashing here. Could have been better. But we get over to this this bridge here. We're just gonna mash our way through our slide. Try not to fall. Switch over to our jet again. And now we go back to our silver tomahawk. Our bronze silver tomahawk. Little too greedy there. That's okay. It didn't feel right. I was a little concerned there. Well, that's not good. I'm gonna take a lot of damage here. It's okay. It's okay. Mid-air cancel is, yeah. Yep. I knew it was gonna happen. That's why we got all those 1-ups, though. It's okay. This is the wall machine, and it is the worst. As you can see, sometimes I just can't seem to get a shot in. And of course, this is one of the ones actually that does take only 3 damage from its weakness. That went about as badly as it can. Power piston just ruining my life. That's okay. That's okay. We're halfway through the castles. We're almost to Mr. X. It's almost over. It's okay. We're almost done. So now we're in Mr. X3. Trying not to get set on fire by these guys. You're a little faster when you're walking than when you're actually using the jet, so we're going to try to walk as much as possible. And switch over to normal mode as quickly as we can. And then we mistimed it, but that's alright. Don't need that charge shot. So we can get rid of it. Make our way up. Late to start the charge. Oh, menu of 1,000 years. So slow. There are certain locations in this run where if you pause, you will take longer to initiate the pause screen. And we try to avoid those. I apparently triggered a partial one there. It was pretty slow. But here we get our fight with our power suit, which is pretty awesome. Get our punch, 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 punch. This is Matongar Z. It's basically Met in a power loader. You know what? We're just going to take him out at range. A little slower pause, yes. Not the true 100 years pause. That's Matongar Z. A couple of missed shots, but could have been worse. Now let's see. This is X4. We have to do some triage, unfortunately. We've had a rough go of some things ammunition-wise. So we're gonna do we're gonna pick up some extra tomahawk there. Hopefully that's enough to get us to where we need to be to finish the stage, or to make our way to the end of the game. Now we shoot one bullet into that gun turret there because they take, I think, is it 3 damage? Either way, they take exactly the amount of damage that the mace ball does. So if you take 1 damage off of that, the mace ball will go through it and it kills the second one as well. It's pretty convenient for our purposes. Three health. 3 health seemed right to me, but I didn't want to. But I was like, oh, maybe it's just 2. So now we're just gonna walk, do a casual stroll here. We're approaching the final boss door of one Mr. X. He's in this giant mace ball. This game's big into the mace balls. Okay, you know what? That didn't start out right. So let's you know what? Let's try this a different way. Ah! Every boss fight, I just cannot. It's not. Game just is not feeling it tonight. Doesn't want to cooperate. Kind of troublesome. Anyways, here we're gonna try to juggle this guy. There we go. See, why couldn't I have done it last time? It's not that bad. All right. Anyway, so there it is. There's Mr. X. Failed D. What? No, not again. This guy? Again? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I did not see that coming. Doesn't look anything like Mr. X. Got me. Fool me once. Oh, so now we get to the final Wily Castle in the NES Mega Man games. And we start off with some pretty heavy jet usage. Get some fan action here. And we just sneak our way through there. Now we're going to engage our jet early. If you don't engage it in the screen previous, you are not able to make this. You know what we're going to do here? We're going to grab... Oh no, you know what? I think we have plenty of fire, so we don't actually need to do this. I was still trying to recover ammunition from all of the earlier troubles that we had, but I think we're okay. It's okay. So make our way through here. We just deboost through this. We're not going to fight any of this stuff. It's not worth it. They all have a fair amount of health, and we want to save as much of our spear as we can. I do a little backwards deboost there, sneak on through. And now, really, for one of the more annoying bosses in Mega Man, I think, you have these platforms that you have to jump on, and you have a hitbox that is basically precisely the right size that the speed that the tomahawk or that the Yamato spear travels at can basically step over the hitbox of where the dragon is. It's not cool, but it's over. A little bit of trouble. I love those things because they're just, what are they called? They're curling stones, and I think that's awesome. Because who doesn't love curling? Curling's awesome. So here we're going to try to use some flame to kill these guys, even though their shields are up. And we got all but one. That's okay. We're rolling the dice on that play. So we really haven't seen much of the wind, but I think it's funny that the second hit, if whatever hit would kill the enemy, it just shoots them up off screen, which is such a funny little attack. Makes short work of that tank. So not too bad. So that's two of our stages done. Now we have our refights. We'll have Windman's Weakness, which we did not have the first time through. But first we have some pretty, hopefully good movement here. We're going to use this to fill up, hopefully, our Silver Tomahawk. here and make it all the way. Perfect. Not a problem. We try to make that cycle. It can be kind of tough if you have a little bit of bad movement, which I often do there. So at least that part went well. So here's round 2 with Blizzard Man. He gives us a very, very large roll, which we do not want. We're going to make extra double cautious that we get, because we have exact ammo here. Don't want to have to fight him with the off weapon. The menu in this is slow. We're trying to avoid that. So now we switch over to wind. See what Flame Man does here. Now, a change here is that from Mega Man 4 that I was playing earlier, is that to leave the boss arena, you have to collect the health that they drop. So, unlike in Mega Man 4, where you could skip it if you so chose, you can do no such thing in Mega Man 6. So, it's in your best interests to not get hit, and it's also in your best interest to not screw up the fight. But it's okay. We didn't respect the iframes, and that's what happens when you don't respect the iframes. You end up running out of ammunition. So same thing here, Windman. One of Windman's features is he'll do this attack where he pulls you in towards him. If you deal damage multiple times while that is occurring, he'll pull you towards you faster. It's a bigger deal in the original fight when you're using Buster, but it is something you do have to consider there. Our Centaur Man, real bro action from Centaur Man. Didn't teleport, not even once. So we switch back over to our Yamato Spear, and again, the great thing about Yamato Spear is that we do not have to worry about whether or not Nightman's shield is active when we attack. Here we get Plant Man again, which again is Blizzard. The only other time that we really use Blizzard in this entire run. So we're gonna try to do the manipulation here again, where... Yeah, I'm not gonna get there in time. So, again, what happens there is that you're completely on Plant Man's hitbox, and normally what the AI's programmed to do is to run at you. And so what... It doesn't know where you are then, so it will run around the map a handful of times. Okay, Yamato Man. Be that way. Ugh. Didn't make the jump. Terrible. Alright, so we're going into our final stage here. Finally putting Mega Man 6 and Mega Man on the NES. We're finishing it off. The next time we would see this version of Mega Man would be on Mega Man 7 on the Super Nintendo. So we actually finally arrest Dr. Wily at the end of this game. But as we near the end here, I want to say thank you to everybody at RGL. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for letting me showcase a handful of runs that I love. Thank you for doing such a great job in hosting this for one of my favorite weeks of the year. There's always something good to watch. And just for all of the awesome stuff that you guys do throughout the year. And one more, and that is time. Thank you so much. That is Dr. Wily in jail, and we've got him wrapped up good and tight. And there he is, behind bars. Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to do this. I love playing these games. I love getting to show them off. And I love getting to be a part of this marathon. So thank you for having me again. Stick around. There's still some great stuff going on. Mega Man 8 is next. That's an awesome speed run. It is super, super cool. Mega Man 8 does not get near enough love. So with that, just thank you, and good night, everybody.